My recollection is that Orion decided to change his name sometime in the early 2000s. For me, it kind of came out of the blue. He hadn't said much about it. And he didn't say anything about not liking his birth name or anything like that. Those of us who were acquainted with him at the time knew him as Sidney. Sidney Pitts, the actor and church musician from Pennsylvania and the Carolinas, who now made his home in San Francisco. But he did say that he was influenced by our friend Joya, who had changed her name a few years before from Lisa to Joya. And he talked a little bit about how the constellation had always been a big influence in his life. So, for this gathering, I thought it might be worthwhile to hear the poem by Adrienne Rich of her reflections on the constellation Orion. Far back when I went zigzagging through tamarack pastures, you were my genius. You my cast-iron Viking, my helmed Lionheart king in prison. Years later now, you're young, my fierce half-brother, staring down from that simplified west, your breast open, your belt dragged down by an old-fashioned thing, a sword. The last bravado you won't give over, though it weighs you sewn as you stride. And the stars in it are dim, and maybe have stopped burning. But you burn, and I know it. As I throw back my head to take you in, an old transfusion happens again. Divine astronomy is nothing to it. Indoors I bruise and blunder, break faith, leave ill enough alone, a dead child born in the dark. Night cracks up over the chimney, pieces of time, frozen geodes come showering down in the grate. A man reaches behind my eyes and finds them empty. A woman's head turns away from my head in the mirror. Children are dying my death and eating crumbs of my life. Pity is not your forte. Calmly you ache up there, pinned aloft in your crow's nest, my speechless pirate. You take it all for granted. And when I look you back, it's with a star-like eye, shooting its cold and egotistical spear where it can so least damage. Breathe deep. No hurt, no pardon out here in the cold with you. You with your back to the wall.